All right. I do believe I did everything correct this time. Let's see if that is also the assumption of the algorithm. Let's resize everything. Yep. What were those Muppets? That was the thing they'd always say. Yup. Oh my god. Welcome, that ass is amazing. Old Uncle Vicky. Great names. That's hilarious. That ass is amazing? Oh my god. You gotta be a bot account, right? I get so many like fake ass stripper and porn accounts now following my page on Instagram. It's always the same. It's always like a picture of someone. It's always a profile picture of a booty pic, and then followed with an Instagram story compilation saying, "My videos, tee hee." And I never look in them. I'm just kidding. I look at every single one of them. I'm so fucking thirsty, guys. So fucking thirsty for the fucking poon. So thirsty for the poon hunting. I'm going poon hunting. That's how thirsty I am for the poon. Okay. So, on a much sadder note, I have to, in case you've been living under a rock, I have to relay some bad message news. We lost a real one. Pour one out. Steal your heart, fellas. Dolly Parton passed away. Very sad. Now, I didn't know Dolly Parton's career super well, but I know that she's very beloved. She did some amazing humanitarian work. So all kudos and respect to that. So it did, however, produce this amazing piece of humor. Never thought Dolly Parton would pass. Legitimately thought this was how she was moving. It's really getting fucking annoying. Oh, I didn't even put it on the thing. Okay, sorry. I'm going to watch that again. Oh, I'm the worst. All right. I'll read it again. Never thought Dolly Parton would pass. Legitimately thought this was how she was moving. I'm really kind of getting fucking sick of this season, man. Don Murphy 119, welcome. I'm getting fucking sick of this season. The writers are out of control, where they are just killing off characters that are absolutely crucial to the plot, absolutely crucial to the stories. Beloved characters that we all know and love, and yet we haven't even gotten confirmation that Mitch McConnell has died. And yet there are plenty of other evil people, many of them Republicans, still get to walk this earth. This fucking sucks. On brighter news, let's talk about some awesome things that Dolly Parton did do. The excerpt from Lou Sullivan's FTM, which I think it means Female to Male newsletter, December 1990. The July 10th, 1990 issue of the supermarket tabloid Star revealed a sex change shocker in Dolly's limo. Her driver is man. Oh, God. You gotta love it when the fucking transvestigators can't even use English properly. Her driver, man, used to woman. Her driver is man, who used to be a woman. The inside story says that 44-year-old Jason Pirro, who weighs 300 pounds and who underwent female-to-male surgery in 1982, works as Dolly Parton's chauffeur whenever she comes to Hollywood. He also drives Farrah Fawcett, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, rest in peace, and Elizabeth Montgomery. I knew Chris Christopherson was a real one. Dolly stated there's nothing wrong with transsexuals. If I were a man, I'd be a drag queen, she admits. She was a real one. She was a better person than any Republican alive, including Ronald Reagan. Adrio Cruz, Kaya Little, welcome. Welcome to the YouTube chat. So, moving on. They are trying to say that Hasan Piker is an anti-Semite. So, let's just give a couple highlights of how that's bullshit.
singled out by those in power as a scapegoat for instability and economic volatility people in power cause.
Ray Dan,
a resilient, nascent anti-Semitism is a constant threat, especially as economic instability makes those in power seek out old targets. They're not very creative, usually. They just always rehash the same propaganda over and over again. This is precisely the reason why I am terrified of the conflation of anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. The conflation is dangerous. Valid criticisms against the state, especially as all of the violence is unfolding, and everyone can see it, valid criticisms against the state committing these atrocities and tying it back to Judaism is a cynical ploy to stop all matter of conversation is truly terrifying. And I think it directly causes anti-Semitism to fester.
I will always call out anti-Semitism. It's gross, it's immoral, it is a hate crime. There is no space for anti-Semitism. So when I hear from those who have never even cared about anti-Semitism coming in here to like use it, to deploy it cynically, and to say this nasty thing to someone like myself and to others who are simply calling for the emancipation of Palestinians, I lose my fucking mind. It is so gross. It's so disgusting. You are betraying the severity of anti-Semitism when you use it in such a silly way. There is real anti-Semitism. There is actually a sense of marginalization that is valid. There is actually a genuine impact of anti-Semitism that is a canary for fascist ideology. So when that gets diluted with anti-Zionism in a very nefarious cycle that tries to associate all of the actions of Israel with Judaism, you are literally, without recognizing, telling people something that is objectively false, okay? Just like Saudi Arabia and its actions have nothing to do with Islam, okay? Or the rest of the Muslim world, Israel's actions have nothing to do with Judaism or, you know, how American Jews or Jews wherever they live in the world and their day-to-day experiences. It has nothing to do with that. It is a...
Could you imagine fucking Charlie Kirk saying this kind of stuff about how when the economy starts failing, they're going to seek out old methods of fascism and blame Jews? Could you imagine Nick Fuentes saying this kind of shit? Of course you can't, because they were both Nazis. Charlie Kirk specifically was a pedophile protector. He had a pedophile work for him in Turning Point USA that went on to the Trump pedophile regime, and he let that pedophile go. Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes are Nazis. They would never say this. Is there anything, does he actually go into talk about, I'm sure there's some of these speeches where he talks about the Holocaust, and it's like, yeah, see, okay, here we go.
Capitalists, just like there are among the Russians and among people of all nations. The capitalists strive to sow and foment hatred between workers of different faiths, different nations, and different races.
Again, could you imagine Charlie Kirk saying this? Nick Fuentes? Of course not, because they are legitimate Nazis. The easiest way to tell who is an anti-Semite is who is not. For example, you can ask Hasan. Hasan, what are your thoughts on the Holocaust? Now, go to Nick fucking Nazi Fuentes. Ask him his thoughts on the Holocaust. You're going to get some pretty fucking different answers. One might say radically different answers. Almost completely fucking opposite answers. This is a crime but isn't Islam? What is a crime? You're not defining what the crime is, Jesse R. Sturgis. And no, being Muslim is not a crime. What does the Democrat stand for? Riot? What? There's no... The word riot isn't in Democrat, you fucking idiot. Fuck out of my chat, Diana Williams-P5U. You've been in my chat before, too, you fucking loser. Jesse Sturgis, Raydan, thank you for saying keep it simple, stupid, and then misspelling stupid. Brava! Keep it simple, stupid! Jesus H. Christ. Don Murphy, Abby Gallup, welcome. So yeah, it's pretty simple. You know, honestly, if you want to know who's an anti-Semite, the easiest fucking way, just ask them about the Holocaust. Just ask them their opinions on the Holocaust. Ask them their opinion on Hitler. You're going to find out pretty fucking quick, which is interesting how in all of this conversation about Hasan and Israel and their pedophile state that is currently raping Palestinians and war criming them, none of these people accusing others. They accused Bernie fucking Sanders of being an anti-Semite. Bernie Sanders, the most grandpa Jew possible. Like, he's like a... Bernie Sanders is literally a character from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He literally is. He and Larry David are actually related. Bernie is the most grandpa Jew you could ever fucking imagine, and they're trying to say he's an anti-Semite, which is insane. This is no different than Republicans calling Joe Biden a communist. It's the same fucking thing, because you're just showing that you're full of shit. You're making no sense, and you're like a child just speaking in gobbledygook before they've even learned English, you know? That's what these people are. My people were murdered by all? Jesse, you got to be a little more specific. What do you want to become when you grow up? Someone that beats the fuck out of Nazi fascist pedophiles like you, Diana Wiggins. Now, also, keep in mind, this was a review of Hasan Piker before he went anti-Israel and anti-Zionist.
We might have heard of the streaming platform Twitch. It was once really...
Well, to be fair, he actually was anti-Zionist and anti-Israel before this, but this is what really... this was before he got all the quote-unquote power that he has now to fundraise, to phone bank, to knock on doors, and to get candidates elected.
Known as a platform to watch people play video games like Fortnite. But now there's a new genre on the site, political commentary.
That's right. This is how millions of Gen Zers and millennials are keeping up with the latest election news.
This is on
NBC News
NBC
digital
News.
Reporter Maya Egan is here with more on one specific...
The same network that is now calling him an anti-Semite is the same network that gave him this rave review, and the only difference is that he is now anti-Israel. You got it, dump ass. Stop by mentally empty. That's insane and liar, and you misspelled liar again. Okay. Start making sense or get muted. This is fucking dumb, dude. Jesus Christ. Spelled liar as L-I-E-R and then stupid as S-T-U-P-U-D. Calling me stupid and then misspelling it. Oh, the irony.
Specific person on this site. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, guys. So Hasan Piker's channel is called Hasan Abi, and he shared with me that a lot of his audience members are feeling frustrated right now with all the ups and downs of this political year, but they're still wanting to stay informed and keeping up with him in a non-traditional way. Take a look at some of our conversation.
Hasan Piker is not your typical political commentator.
Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the you are.
You might think of Twitch as a site for gamers, but now millions of people also watch streamers watching the news on the platform instead of traditional TV, and 70% of those users under the age of 35.
Hasan is the biggest political commentator on Twitch.
Hasan's channel, Hasan Abi, was the third most streamed channel globally on Twitch as of August 2024, drawing in over 114 million views and 2.7 million subscribers.
Hasan Abi, he kind of pioneered the space for the style of political coverage he does.
He provides commentary and answers questions live 8 hours a day, 7 days a week for newsy events like the last presidential debate.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. Yeah! And this is what's happening.
So we spent a few days with Hasan to get his perspective on what Gen Z wants.
If politicians want to appeal to Gen Z, it's not about the memes and streams. It's just like communicate to them that they are worthy of attention and that their desires... So this is a pretty
long piece. It's 5 minutes, but you can see. So this was flashback. Here was a glowing, gushing, 100% positive profile of Hasan Piker, Hasan Pike, from NBC News Now back on September 30th, 2024. Nothing about Jews, Islam, Israel. Yeah, this is before I started getting involved in Democratic Party primaries to get people to who want to hold Israel accountable elected. That's the difference. Nothing changed. Hasan's politics hasn't changed. His policies haven't changed. His worldview hasn't changed. He is still Hasan Piker, and yet they have all turned on him because Israel. Because of a foreign country, not even America. It'd be one thing if they, like, turned on him because, I don't know, like because America said so. America says Hasan Abi's got to go to jail. But no, I mean, even then that would be stupid, but it's a foreign government. Israel is a foreign government that has an insane amount of hold over our politics, and it's stupid. They are a foreign government run by pedophiles, rapists, and terrorists, and they are currently in the process of committing a genocide. Why the fuck are we backing them? Why the fuck do we send all this goddamn money to them? Because for decades, unfortunately, Israel has been tied at the hip with our military-industrial complex and then tied in with our politicians. And then, of course, they can use anti-Semitism as a shield, as a bulwark against any kind of actual criticism. And yet, again, all the people, right, that they're claiming are anti-Semites, whether it be, again, Bernie Sanders, Mark Ruffalo, now they're saying, what is her name? Hannah Einbinder, who isn't she also Jewish? And of course, Hasan Piker. You never hear a fucking Jewish slur from those folks, right? Never heard a single Jewish slur, even though Nick Fuentes has said plenty. And yet, they don't make Nick Fuentes the focus. Because the simple fact is that Nick Fuentes, as awful and terrible as he is still a person that maintains more or less somewhat of a capitalist status quo. Like maybe certain businessmen and certain people in certain industries may become targets, but at the end of the day, the capitalist machine will still churn on, and the workers will still be poor, workers will still be beaten down by the wheel of capitalism. And yet, Hasan Piker is truly the opposite. He is worker-focused. He is people-focused. He wants policies that benefit people. He wants to tax the rich. He wants Medicare for all. He wants housing for all. He wants wage increases. He wants to send billionaires to jail, like Elon Musk, stuff like that. These are all things that benefit not only the population, the working class, but benefit America. And the people that are criticizing Hasan are throwing all of that away, all of the progress that we could have, all of the women's rights, right? All of the protections for workers, all of the protections that we could have for people of different religions, which include Jews, by the way, since the Nazis are literally marching in Ohio, Idaho, and Washington, D.C. He wants protections for that. He wants protections for people of color. All of that goes out the door in favor of a literal Nazi like Nick Fuentes, who has fucking cockroaches crawling on his jacket while he's doing streams. That's insane. We need to we're not the crazy ones, they are, and we need to start acting like it. But unfortunately, the only people that we have somewhat in our political corner are the Democratic Party. And the reason, again, they are so against Hasan Piker is because they have to do character assassination because he challenges their status quo. He is in favor of pushing back against this capitalist-run, this oligarch-run system that we're currently sitting in. So this is the fuller transcript of Hasan Piker's remarks that started the latest Hasan derangement syndrome cycle. Look, the anti-Zionist Jews in my community, you have a very tough job ahead of you. This was him talking to his stream, where you have to go back to your communities and try to get your elderly relatives to understand that this connection between Israeli and Zionism, I think it's supposed to say Israel and Zionism, that is expressed over and over again through a lot of these Jewish institutions, is teaching people the idea that Jews are monolithic. And by the way, this is not a controversial statement. The same way that black communities are not monolithic. The same way that Hispanic communities are not monolithic. This is not a controversial statement. Hell, even white communities ain't monolithic. I'm on the left, and then I got other dumb fucks living, not far from the family farm in Idaho that are super fucking inbred redneck Trumpers. Very fucking different. And this is it's a very dangerous mode of propaganda. You want to know why? Because people don't fuck with Israel any longer. And if Jews in America keep putting this idea out that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action. Not against the state of Israel, mind you, but against American Jews. By the way, this is fucking correct. We have seen this. We have already seen this with the Great Replacement Nazi theory. By the way, Nick Fuentes, Laura Loomer, Jake Lang, Tucker Carlson, right? Ben Shapiro. Many of the biggest right-wing voices and, personalities, pundits, are in favor of the Great Replacement Nazi theory, which has led to actual terrorist attacks. The Christchurch massacre, right? Multiple mass shootings. That has led to it, and that is the Great Replacement theory is a direct blame on the Jewish religion. saying that they're the ones bringing in immigrants, which of course is fucking horseshit. And they're doing it intentionally to replace the white Christian population, which is of course horseshit. And yet again, someone went out and they took action on that insane fucking theory. Nancy Cecil, welcome. And that's no different than this. If you say that there is no difference between Judaism and Israel, then you are tying that religion to an insanely unpopular country that is committing horrible acts of evil right now. And yeah, if you are the one conflating the two as a Jewish person, you are going to make some people blame you for what Israel is doing, even though you have nothing to do with it. You can sit there all day and say, we have nothing to do with the genocide, but then you have put out so much propaganda saying that you are Israel. We are all Israel. That's what these Zionists are saying. And then people are going to buy into it. And yes, just like the Great Replacement Theory terrorist attacks, there will be terrorist attacks based on Israel. That is why it is so crucial to keep Jewish populations safe that you do not tie Israel to Judaism. Israel is its own entity committing horrible acts of atrocities that have nothing to do with Jews. Some of the biggest anti-Zionists out in the country are Jews. And yet, what's amazing is some of the biggest Zionists in the country are Christians. What does that tell you? Because those Zionist Christians believe that they can get all Jews out of the country. That's what they believe. Ask them. What does their Zionism mean? It means that there is a promised land for Jewish people, and the white folk in America can have America, and the Jews can go back to the desert. That is truly, I've known Christian Zionists. This is truly their state of mind. This is what they believe. We've seen it in some of these Zionist Christian pastor speeches that you can find on the internet. They go viral because they're so fucking insane. It is crucial to separate Judaism from Israel, because as Hasan Piker says, if people will take action on the Great Replacement Nazi theory and commit horrible acts of terrorism and mass shootings, someone at some point is going to do the same thing in favor against Israel and blame Jews, and it will be horribly fucking wrong, and we have to avoid that. We are trying to find a world that is safer for Jews, and if you're going to tie Judaism to Israel, that ain't it. That's the opposite. Miguel MX-L5H, Israelis don't follow Judaism. The only spirituality children murderers can have is Satanism, offering the blood of innocents to gain power, money, and land. Okay. I want you to pump the brakes a little bit here, Miguel, on a couple of points. Well, first of all, you are correct. Israelis are not all Jewish, right? There are plenty of Christians. There's plenty of Muslims. There's plenty of people of other faiths. However, when you say something like offering the blood of innocents to gain power, money, and land, that is actual anti-Semitism. I'm not blaming you or anything, but look, that is actual anti-Semitism because that is a long-standing Jewish trope and stereotype that the Jews are always doing blood sacrifices to gain power, money, and land. So this is actually a good opportunity for us to pump the brakes because that's not helpful, right? And also, I think you're also equating it to Satanism, which, look, I'm atheist, so I think all religion is stupid, but let's pump the brakes a little bit here, Miguel, okay? The problem is Israelis. The problem is not Jewish people, and certainly not the trope that they're making blood sacrifices. Why do you block opposition? It proves you're a grifter. Oh, you're a Jew, LOL. I just said I'm fucking atheist, you dumb cunt. How is it that I get the most brain-dead fucking people in my chat? I could literally, like, show these dumb pedophile cunts like the man, the legend 7048. I could show them, like, I don't fucking know. I could show them my fucking birth certificate. And they're like, oh, but you're American. You guys are fucking stupid. I just said I'm an atheist, you dumb, ugly fucking cunt. Drew on you won. I helped create Antifa to help Democrats lose traction and begin the next world war. Also, everyone messaged me for this guy's address. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Hey, if you know my address, go ahead and put it in the chat. Go ahead, Drew. I'm sure you're real, right? You definitely have my address, you pedophile fuck. And also, you didn't create anything. You're a fake anonymous pedophile hiding behind an anonymous profile because if you showed your face, you would set off the Chris Hansen alert. That's what I said. That's what I said. The Israelis are not following Judaism. Okay. There were some other things in your statement, though, Miguel, that were a little problematic, brother, just for the record. I appreciate you, stepping up to the plate and saying that, though. TP0214, welcome. Okay, going back to Hasan Piker's statement. Now, is Oakland County's Jewish community in unison making this demand of Abdul al-Sayed? No, of course not. But if there is an opposition from Jewish figures in this community that are loud about the divergence between this representative and their own desires, then the media narrative will set in, even if they don't realize this media narrative presents Jews as single-minded and singularly invested in the continuation of the Israeli apartheid. I don't know how many different ways I can explain this. I don't know how people don't recognize how dangerous this predicament is, how dangerous this is for Jews. You're running around basically tying your entire identity to a country that inevitably will be seen as Jewish ISIS. And you're saying, as Jews, this is all we care about. You're making anti-Semitism worse. I do agree with this again. And it's amazing to see Zionists will actually work together with Nazis. Again, like Nick Fuentes, like Jake Lang. You have this same Jewish organization for Abdul al-Sayed that are coming out against him. Mike Rogers, who that Jewish organization is now in favor of, the Zionist organization is now in favor of Mike Rogers against Abdul al-Sayed, and Mike Rogers works with a pedophile terrorist Nazi, Jake Lang, who gave Nazi salutes outside of AIPAC headquarters. That is actual anti-Semitism. That is like the most anti-Semitic thing. That is like where anti-Semitism came from in the contemporary world is the Nazi salute. And we don't hear shit from Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL. We don't hear shit from Bira Tandon. Because the entire argument of anti-Semitism is horseshit. It's gaming the system to stop criticism of Israel while enabling the status quo so that Nazis, again, like Jake Lang and like Trump, who had dinner with the Holocaust denier, Nick Fuentes, can continue the status quo. That's all it's about. The Satanism part is not about Jewish people. It's about dropping bombs on children that you'll steal their land against Judaism. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think, again, I'm atheist, so Satanism is not really a term that I use, but I get your point. And yeah, it's I would just say it's evil, right? It's fucking evil. I mean, they're dropping bombs on makeshift hospitals. They're burning hospital patients alive in tent hospitals. They're sending quadcopters in to pregnant women and shooting them in the stomach so that the children die with the mother. It's just evil. It's just the kind of evil that you were taught couldn't even exist in the world, right? Because God would smite thee, right? I remember that kind of shit in Bible school. It's like that kind of true evil can't exist because our God is good. Our God is strong, and he will send thunderbolts down. Okay, are you talking about God, the Father, Jesus, or Zeus? Who the fuck are we talking about here? So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Instead of focusing on Hasan Piker, will Mike Rogers distance himself from his spokesperson and faith advisor, Lorenzo Sewell, while he foments vile Islamophobia in the state with the 6th largest Muslim population in the country?
Lang organized what he called a Christian crusade at the city
Jake
council
Lang,
meeting, with many coming out to stand in his support.
Outside the Islamic Center of America, this is the largest mosque in the Western Hemisphere.
Share your testimony, Jake. Share your testimony.
Thank you, Pastor, for having me here. They are taking more from you and feeding their family with their 4 or 5 wives, right? Multiplying like cockroaches.
Oh, cool, yeah. That kind of language is they're outbreeding us. Who thinks like this? They're outbreeding us, man. We need to have more stables. Where's the white women at? What the these people are so fucking weird.
Outbreeding us, and they're stealing our wealth, and they're taking over the...
They're stealing our wealth, right, yeah, because all the capitalist CEOs and the Fortune 500 and the most billionaires and rich people in the country tend to be white and Christian, but sure, it's the Muslims. See, this is the kind of shit, this Muslim scapegoating is exactly what he does as a Nazi to the Jews. It's the same thing. Jews, you've got to realize that there is no difference. You can't ally with a guy like this because he is on the side of Mike Rogers, and now the Jewish organizations in favor of Mike Rogers want this. How long before things get worse and they've taken out, the Muslim talking point gets belated? So then how long before you think they turn to Jews? The answer is not fucking long.
Local government.
I want to pray for Jake, y'all. I love that. I love you, man.
God, these
Come
are
on,
the
let's lay hands
goofiest
on Jake.
motherfuckers.
6 o'clock. Meet me at Dearborn. Meet us in Dearborn in the name of Jesus.
America, we have lost this city. You guys all cry about Palestine. Try being a white Christian man.
Oh, these absolute sackless losers. Try being a white Christian man. It's so hard with like having elected representatives that'll immediately call you back and like having priority for the unemployment line. It's so hard, man. Fucking losers.
This is a city that is no.
It's so hard not being told to get out of a store because they think I'm shoplifting. It's so hard.
No longer up under American laws. We are up under Sharia law. We have planes, we have trains, and we're going to pack them out with all of the Arabs.
Wow, planes, trains, and automobiles for Arabs. Where have we heard that policy before? Again, like, Jewish people, you have to see this kind of rhetoric, and you have to see how it started in Nazi Germany. We have planes, trains, and we're going to pack them. You have to see where this shit is going. Again, once they're done with the Muslims, who do you think is next on their scapegoat list? Come on, people.
We have trains, and we're going to pack them out with all of the...
Which is funny, because with all their anti-science shit, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the trains and planes they try to load wouldn't go anywhere. Right?
Arabs.
There's been a long effort by people like him, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Mike Rogers, to make us America smaller, to limit what we can be. And I believe in a big America. I believe in the America where people come together, not despite their differences, but because of their differences, understanding that the things we need together. That when we look at our kids in the eye, we want the same things for them. That we love in the same way, that we hurt in the same way, and that when America works for all of us, it works better for any of us. So people like that can keep trying to limit what America is, but they keep showing themselves for who they are, and America will keep showing itself for who we are. An America that is big enough for everybody.
I mean, again, going back to, like, the Republicans always like to talk about how Muslims can't assimilate. Muslims assimilate better than Republicans, and Republicans were born here, right? They were born with all the privilege of being born here. They're born here. They have all the privilege of having the country's most dominant religion, Christianity. They have all the privilege of being a part of one of the most notoriously evil, well, they are pedophiles, but political parties in the country. And one of the most powerful political countries, backed by some of the most powerful, richest people on the fucking planet. They have all that privilege, and yet they still can't stand a country that is America for what it was meant to be, right? A melting pot, multiculturalism, a country that was supposed to have, that had people from all over the world, from people from all different walks of life. That is what America was supposed to be. The original, what is it? The Declaration of Independence wasn't supposed to say all men are created equal. It was supposed to say all people are created equal originally. Google it. Look it up. That's what it was supposed to say. That is the idea of America that we should be striving towards. That's where it should be. And yet Republicans still can't assimilate. I would rather have a Muslim as my neighbor, and I have, by the way, I've met several of them. I'd rather have a Muslim as my neighbor than a Republican who is probably raping children when after school hours, right? When I'm at work. So I don't know what Republicans are doing next door. Like Republicans always put out this idea of what they say they're blood doing. What did he say? They're feeding their 4 or 5 wives, multiplying like cockroaches. This dude is a cockroach. He really is. I don't know what we know what this pedophile is doing since he tried to get nude pictures from a child. We know what he's doing. I would rather have a Muslim than either of these freaky, ugly fucks. And, of course, some of the most bigoted people on the planet are Zionists, like Ben Shapiro. There are many ways to criticize bad arguments. Saying people who are indeed Jewish are about as Jewish as a ham sandwich is simply not it. Wrong. Using the mantle of Jewishness... Oh, I'm sorry. I have to do this in my Ben Shapiro. Here, let me see if I can take off my glasses. Wrong. Using the mantle of Jewishness, something Einbinder and company demonstrate zero actual commitment to, in order to promote anti-Judaic insanity, is fundamentally un-Jewish and ought to be called out as such. That's my Ben Shapiro voice. There, this is literally the "you ain't a real Jew" trope, right? Like, it's literally, this is anti-Semitism. Ben Shapiro is so against anti-Semitism that he went full anti-Semite. That's what happened here. And that's what happens every single time. I mean, so many times when these anti-Zionist Jews call out Jewish Zionists like Ben Shapiro and others, then they start using actual slurs. There was one that I can't even remember it. It was a fucking weird one. Fuck, what was it? I don't even know if I can say it on Twitch. But like, they use actual slurs, and I saw, you know, Jewish people in the chat being like, "Whoa, what is that?" And then I googled it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a slur from the Mesopotamian era. That's something." Like, you know, it's insane. You know, a slur is bad when you have to reach back to like the cradle of civilization to use it. You also know how fucking mad someone must be that they know it. I don't mean mad like angry. I mean mad like cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. That's how fucking cuckoo they are. That's how mad they are. This is where Zionism leads you. Telling rabbis they don't know what it means to be Jewish. Which is like, again, this is the same thing as these Christian Republicans telling the Pope what Christianity is, like Ted fucking Cruz. He's telling the Pope. There has never been anyone less Christian than Ted Cruz. And I guarantee you, we are going to find out that Ted Cruz cheated on his wife. At some point, it's going to come out. He can't keep it hidden for long. Ted Cruz absolutely cheated on his wife. His children hate him, and his dog pisses on his shoes. It's going to come out. So the most anti-Semitic people that I have seen on Twitter are Nazis and Zionists, which does make sense that they go together so frequently. Now, the thing about this is that I agree with Wajahad Ali here. We're witnessing the death rattle of AIPAC and its grasp on the Democratic Party. The pro-Israel hawks are choosing the Samson option, going to bring it all down and crush anyone to the left of the establishment on this issue, which is a majority of Americans and Dem voters. I don't think they'll win. I really think this is a... I was saying this a couple weeks ago with Abdul El-Sayed's victory because they lit $55 million of AIPAC money on fire. That's not something you can really... I mean, can you come back from it? Yes, but then when you make multiple further investments, like, who was it? Angie Nixon in Florida was outspent by a Zionist. There was another election that I can't think of. And then I think there's another Florida one that had a couple 100,000 that they wasted. I don't think they won that one either, but I could be wrong. But they're just burning through cash to elect these Zionist Democrats, and they're losing. They're not even losing it like it used to be. They would lose 1 or 2 an election out of, you know, fucking 500 or whatever it ends up being, right, for the primaries. But they're losing like a lot. I think they're losing like damn near half, if not over it. That's huge. And the simple fact is that the polling on this is not going to change. People have seen what Israel has done. And Israel has shown no sign of tacking to be more reasonable. If anything, they're doubling down and getting worse. And people are blaming the Iran war on Israel and Trump, and the gas prices are going up because of Israel, because Iran. It's not going to go away. It's only going to get worse. This is a sea change, and the establishment is refusing to see it. And because of that, they're losing. And we need to ensure that they lose. We need to do everything that we can to stop Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and the Zionist pedophile movement. We have to stop them. Because they will, as he says, they will literally burn down the fucking house around you rather than let us sleep on the sofa. That is the Zionist mindset and the establishment. Even if you took out the whole Israel equation, the establishment would still be that way. They would still be anti-worker, right? If there was if this kind of energy, this kind of polling, forget Israel. What if it was just about workers' rights, right? To get rid of the billionaires, to get a working wage. You know, we had a kind of labor revolution like we had in the 30s that led to the New Deal. What if we had that? The establishment would still be against that. They would have the exact same symptoms because they are entrenched in power. They are bought and paid for by corporate donors and special interests, and it is our job to stop them. If they are not going to reflect the will of the people, then we need to kick them the fuck out. And, of course, they've had more. This is the most unified the Democratic caucus has ever been in calling out Hasan Piker. They've shown more unity against Hasan Piker than they have ever shown against Donald Trump. I promise you, reach back through their tweets, whether it be the ICE Nazi raids, the murders that Trump calls, then defames Alex Preddy and Renee Nicole Good, calls them terrorists, right? Whether it be the Epstein files. The Epstein files is a great example. We have never seen this kind of coordinated attack strategy on Trump against the Epstein files. If anything, Ro Khanna and others were told to pipe down by, I believe it was Chuck Schumer, if I remember correct, and Hakeem Jeffries. But when it comes to somebody threatening Israel and threatening the status quo, they will target you. In response to Hasan Piker's recent comments, blah, 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 List Stotkin sucks. Senator Jackie Rosen, Nevada, who is an incredibly corrupt, evil human being, has said this. I mean, it's all total bullshit. They got the daddy BB call, and they fell in line. That's what happened here. This is also unbelievably cynical and almost certainly coordinated. They're 100% correct. They're calling it the most coordinated fake outrage ever. Cory Booker, same thing. Cory Booker, who's literally bought and paid for by AIPAC. And here's the other thing. The people coordinating their strategies all got the AIPAC call, right? All the people giving these statements. Alyssa Slotkin, $500,000. Hakeem Jeffries, $1.5 million. Jackie Rosen, evil person, $2.25 million. Susie Lee, almost $1 million. Hillary Schulten, almost $500,000. Richie Torres, also an evil piece of shit, $2.1 million. Jake Auchincloss, $1 million. Josh Gottheimer, an unbelievably evil person. We'll come back to him. $2.3 million. And Cory fucking fake-ass Booker, $851,000. All of the people criticizing, the totals up to $13,063,052. That's how much bribes these people have taken from Israel in blood money. That's what they have taken. This isn't going to work. You cannot have this amount of money on an 80-20 issue reflect your opinion. You can't. This is purely undemocratic. It is unbelievably undemocratic. And know thine enemy. These people are the enemy. Alyssa Slotkin, Hakeem Jeffries, Jackie Rosen, Richie Torres, Hillary Schulten, Susie Lee, Jake Auchincloss, Josh Gottheimer, Cory Booker. They are the enemy. Again, Trump, Republicans, the establishment. They are the enemy in that order. And right now, the only one that we actually have some control over fighting back against is the establishment. We need to take them out. And of course, Cory Booker took money from Jared fucking Kushner. Look at this. Jesus, 5.2. Oh, I'm sorry, 5,200. Okay, so the max personal donation. I'm assuming it's a personal donation. Got in June, May. Did he get 2 in May? I'm confused. Why are these? Oh, I think I know this clip. This is a great one. Let's see this.
Not getting it. There are votes that you've made that were heartbreaking to me, like the vote for Kushner. That really pissed me off. This administration, it's not, are they fascist? They are fascist. It's not, we're on the precipice of fascism. Texas is sending troops to Illinois. I feel like the opposition needs to be fuck no across the board. We're not giving you a centimeter. And I think there's been a lot of capitulation, Neville Chamberlain type appeasement from Democratic leadership. And you're one of them that's kind of been disappointing to me because we podcasted before. They're serious about Project 2025. They're going to do all this shit. What do you have to say about the capitulation that you participated in and where the Democratic Party is right now?
Well, first of all, I would say very pointedly that one of the things I dislike about the Democratic Party is that we do a circular firing squad all the time. Their party, they disagree.
What are you doing
now? There's a lot of disagreements in the Republican tent, and yet they don't shoot at each other. And we have a really good way of holding up these purity tests that if I agree with you on 95...
That's such bullshit. That is such bullshit. They fire at each other all the time. Trump has sent so many people out to pasture. God, so many people that he calls rhinos. Liz Cheney can tell you that they have the firing squad as well. It's not a purity test. It's, are we in this fight? And are we being beholden to corporations and corporate interests? Are we really the party of the working class?
So good.
Feels like
she made Chuck Schumer. She made Cory Booker look like an absolute clown here. For AIPAC. So here's the other thing is that this is the difference in the Democrats and the Republicans, right? The Democrats are going to, AIPAC is the hill that they're going to die on, right? Like Schumer, Jeffries, they've all made that clear. That's the hill they're going to die on, is AIPAC, right? Republicans truly have incredible instincts on this because they know how unpopular AIPAC is. They know that supporting AIPAC is unpopular. So what do? Rather than refuse the money, they take it and then they hide about it. This is crazy. 4 AIPAC fundraisers in LA in 24 hours after making a big deal of rejecting AIPAC funding, right? Because it's so incredible how Republicans do this and Democrats don't. Mike Rogers gave a public statement saying he will reject AIPAC funding. And, like he says, say one thing, do another. Classic Mike Rogers flip-flopping. This is it. AIPAC wants to back this Republican, but he has some reservations. The pro-Israel group has been preparing to spend big for Mike Rogers, the Republican nominee for Senate in Michigan. Does he want that? Rogers attends AIPAC fundraiser amid qualms about planned ad blitz. He's been doing it on the side. AIPAC has become his sneaky link. That's what's happening. And Republicans know it. They want to go where the money is, and so they do it, but they do it. Oh, man, it's the cheating scandal. It's a bigger cheating scandal than if they were to fuck someone else other than their wife. Guess who funded Corey? The Kushners funded Corey. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Brina. You just missed it. I just brought this one up. Yep. I guess you can't really see it on the vertical there. Jared Kushner on the left side. Yep, you called it. You called it. All right. I tabbed my thingy. There we go. Now, what's incredible is, so Mamdani totally got Trump to Trump liked him. What the hell? Clip like. Is that on my? Hold on. Technical issues. Is that on my? Hold on. There's some. How do I do? What? What is that? What does it say clip like? How do I get rid of it? What did I do? I must have hit a hotkey of some kind. Okay, it's just going to be there. Fuck it. All right, hold on, Brina. What'd you say? Mike Rogers full of crap. Dude, I'm still voting for Abdul El-Sayed. I like him. He is for us. Me too. I got my parents. I convinced them to vote for him too, so I'm really happy about that. So anyways, but Mamdani got Trump to like him, right? And now you had Abdul El-Sayed give his primetime interview with Jesse Waters, and he got him to like him. There is truly some charisma from these people. I think a lot of it is, honestly, Trump has daddy issues. We know that. Jesse Waters, I think they all have daddy issues. So many of these people are just lonely, weak, pathetic men that never had a good father. That's what Trump is. That's what Jesse Waters is. So when they get a strong male figure suddenly show up in their life, like Mamdani did to Trump and Abdul El-Sayed, they're just dog walk these Republican losers. Listen to this.
In this case, I thought the interview was fine. Thought it was compelling. He's a confident guy, kind of a guy's guy, but I don't trust him. You know, I like him. I don't want to like him. I like him for some stupid reason, but he's not right for Michigan.
See, he can still differentiate the policy, which he does here. He makes it clear to his viewers. But the fact that he likes him, that's something that Hillary Clinton would never get this from him, right? Joe Biden would never get this from him. But a guy like Abdul and Mamdani, they can do that. That's why these people are true leaders. They are next gen, man. Where is everyone else in here? I don't know. It's been a slow day. Yesterday was insane, Brina. You missed it. Yesterday was fucking insane. So I started later today. I had a busy day, so I'm just kind of trying to go through the motions here. I'm phoning it in. You heard it here first. I'm phoning it in. Now the clip like went away. I don't get it. I'm telling America has a lot of trauma. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. That's saying it true. All right, so this is also Tim Miller is pointing out the insanity of, speaking of circular filing squads, which is what Cory Booker was talking about, This is how you get a circular firing squad. When you get the establishment agreeing with Fox fake news. That is a circular firing squad.
One thing that he's doing is stating clearly that he's committed to Jewish safety and he opposes anti-Semitism in all its forms and he loves his Jewish brothers and sisters. Are we getting the same thing from the other side? Are we getting a statement this clear from Mike Rogers about the bigoted attacks against Muslims? I have not seen that. I think that it is important that, that we have a standard here that is.
I'm sorry, this is driving me insane. I hate this necklace on him. Why do you have a pearl necklace? Is this the one where it's like you can use it, he can like suck on it in between takes for like anxiety or something? Is this one of those candy necklaces? Or is this actual jewelry? What are you wearing, Tim? What is going on here, my guy?
That is equal on both sides. And I don't feel like that is happening. And I feel like every time Abdul El-Sayed.
Can this even fit around his head? It's probably not, right? It's one of those things you got to clasp behind. But like, what if the clasp breaks and you have to take it? I don't think it'll fit around his freaking weirdly shaped noggin. I don't. Okay, I got to start over. That was too distracting. I used to watch The Bulwark, but Sarah is on my shit list. Which Sarah? Is that Sarah? What's her name? Longwell or something? Which Sarah are you talking about, Brina?
One thing that he's doing is stating clearly that
Zionist,
he's committed to Jewish
right?
safety and he opposes anti-Semitism in all its forms and he loves his Jewish brothers and sisters. Are we getting the same thing from the other side? Are we getting a statement this clear from Mike Rogers about the bigoted attacks against Muslims?
It's a horrible look on him, I think, personally.
I think that it is important that that we have a standard here that is equal on both sides. And I don't feel like that is happening. And I feel like every time Abdul El-Sayed goes anywhere, he has to answer for whatever anti-Israel or anti-Semitic or borderline anti-Semitic or imaginarily anti-Semitic statement that some supporter of his said. And Mike Rogers just gets to walk around carte blanche having, his fucking goons like smearing private citizens because they have Muslim names. So I don't think it's okay. And I think that, over the last couple months of this campaign, it's important that there be equal treatment here. Because getting back to Alicia and what's up next, Mike Rogers knows he doesn't have a good economic story to tell. And so he's going to keep engaging in this trash and in this hypocritical BS in order to try to make the campaign about something else. I don't think it's going to work, but it's got to be pushed back on, or else it might.
Yeah, this is exactly what I've been saying. Like, Mike Rogers actually has some political liability. He is a rubber stamp for Trump. He is nothing more than Trump's fucking errand boy. And then he has actual Nazis doing his campaign work. Like actual Nazis. I covered this on my stream last time. A couple days ago. People on Mike Rogers' team have been leaked in Nazi Hitler praising group chats. That's a fact. I'm sorry. That's Mike Collins. Oh, it's the other Republican Nazi. I'm sorry. And you'll notice how these Republicans, when they hire literal Nazis that are praising Hitler and praising, saying rape is awesome, shit like that, they never have to fucking answer for it. But Hasan Piker, God forbid, has to answer for saying that anti-Semitism will be made worse if you tie Judaism with Israel. It's fucking insane. She's only for centrist Democrats, the establishment. Yeah, the Bulwark has Catherine Rampell is also on there. Whom I like, but has some really shit-brain takes, especially when it comes to billionaires and Mamdani. But the Bulwark, yeah, they're very hit and miss. You take the good and you ignore the bad. Tap2364 says he, she. What are you talking about? How have you been, James? I've been good. I've been very busy though. Running around today. I had a lot of shit to do. Ran last time and lost here. Hasan Piker is good. Yeah, totally agree. So with all of this, right, seeing AIPAC candidates lose, seeing historically unpopular polling for Israel, seeing that the primary states for POTUS in 2028 on the Democratic side want a candidate that is anti-Israel and that will put an embargo on Israel as well as sanctions on Israel, the Democrats responded by appointing some of the worst Zionists in the party, some of the worst offenders of Zionism. Pro-Israeli reps Wasserman, Schultz, and Bell added to the panel, as well as pro-Palestinian rep Pocan, which doesn't fucking matter. They're going to be drowned out. Pro-Israel rep Jared Moskowitz made MENA subcommittee ranking member, Middle East and North Africa subcommittee ranking member, oversees Israel policy. This is awful. Like, I've said before that Republicans hate their own voters. This shows how much Democrats hate American voters. They truly fucking hate American voters. It's amazing. I never thought I'd say that. I really never thought I'd say that. But what else can you say when you see this? When you see a historic anti-Israel sentiment against Democratic shitlibs, and they put this evil, Zionist, rabid, fringe, baby-killing piece of shit Jared Moskowitz on the committee that's going to essentially give a green light for more of Israel's genocide, to go on and do greater Israel and then bomb Lebanon, bomb Syria, invade these countries. This is truly evil what the Democrats are doing. And this is also part of why Hakeem Jeffries has to go. If he doesn't have the political instincts enough to read the tea leaves and see that, oh yeah, maybe this is not the right person, maybe at least get someone more sane. They didn't even have to put a Palestinian, a pro-Palestine person, maybe just someone who's had a mixed record on it or something. They could have done that, but they didn't. The fact that they chose Jared Moskowitz is literally a middle finger to America. Literally a middle finger. And we should make Hakeem Jeffries pay. We need to make him pay. We need to make them suffer. And that, unfortunately, we can't do that this primary, but we can do it in the 2028 primary next year, in 2 years. And we can also make their life miserable in the meantime by protesting the fuck out of these Zionists. This is an insane lineup of AIPAC Democrats, and it's an inversion of the basis demands from the Dems on how the party should move on foreign policy. 100% correct. We, the people, are saying we don't want this shit, and the Democrats are saying, oh, well, it's too bad, so sad. It's the exact same thing that Gretchen Whitmer said. When she opened that data center, she's caught on a hot mic saying, oh, my God, I just can't believe it. Like, the people hate these data centers. They didn't want me to do this, but I can just do it, and there's no consequences. Ooh. They're truly fucking evil. They gotta go. They gotta go, and we have to stop them. Tim Miller, I like though. Yeah, Tim's pretty reliable. Tim's pretty reliable overall. AOC or Ro Khanna should be president. I mean, they're both having their own flaws, but look, we can't do. No politician is going to be perfect. I would like to push them more to the left on certain issues, but there's, in my opinion, I think they are better than the current crop of candidates like Newsom and Ossoff and Kamala fucking Harris again. Jesus. You know they're going to bash Muslims. Yeah, I think you missed this part, Brina, but I said once they're done bashing Muslims, they're going to go after Jews. That's just how it works. They started with trans people, a much smaller minority with much less people to defend them. Now they're on to Muslims, which is still a smaller community, not nearly as much political power, but they still have some. They're going to turn to the Jews. That's how it always goes. That is how fascism works. So in light of all of this kind of stuff, it's worth remembering why we hate Israel. Because of shit like this. Far-right lawmaker Zavi Sukkot smashes Palestinian monument in West Bank while guarded by the IDF. He's literally committing an act of terrorism and vandalism while he's guarded by the IDF. This is why we hate the IDF. This is why we hate Gal Gadot. Sukkot confirmed to Haaretz that he participated in the action, saying it was carried out in full coordination with the Israeli military. This is terrorism. See, I would love to have a better angle, but the thing is, the person filming is probably worried about getting shot. What an evil piece of shit. Evil, evil people. And this isn't even like the most offensive shit they've done. Also, like, how fucking weak are you, bro? Have you even gotten a chip off that thing? That monument is a fucking unit. What the fuck? Did they leave without being able to knock it over? Oh, that's fucking pathetic. Imagine committing an act of terrorism so impotent that you can't even knock over a fucking monument. Fuck these terrorists. So, for a better idea of what is actually a reason why we hate Israel, That was actually almost comical. Israel has attacked a critical water desalination plant and a mosque in Gaza as it intensifies attacks on the enclave despite a, quote, ceasefire. Fuck Newsom, you're goddamn right. So again, the desalination plant provides water, war crimes, and there's supposed to be a ceasefire. It's a war crime, and they shouldn't be doing this in the first place. There's a fucking ceasefire. Israel has no respect for international humanitarian law. Israel has no respect for any law. Israel is not a serious country. They're a gang of pedophile terrorists. Every time it's a weapons depot. We had to bomb a football field. Why? There was a weapons depot there. It was an open fucking field. Weapons. What kind of weapons? Footballs. Yeah, footballs. Yeah. Footballs to be thrown at our soldiers. Hit us in the face and we could die. Fucking pathetic. Don't forget, JFK wanted to end Israel, and we all know what happened to him. James, my mouth gets me in trouble. Hey, so does mine. I get it. So again, this is why we hate Israel. How is it anti-Semitic to hate this? It's stupid. But, you know, Hasan Piker, as this person says. So on that note, here are an example of things we could actually be talking about that are tied to Trump. These are things that Americans already hate. These are things, these issues that he's already underwater on. We could be using this time to talk about it, to frame Trump, to frame his stooges in Congress as supportive of this kind of crap, but we're too busy talking about Hasan Piker. So, for example, Meta will enforce a 2-hour, this is amazing, by the way, a 2-hour daily limit on Instagram and Facebook for children as part of a record $17.1 billion settlement with 29 states over social media addiction claims. This does go to show how much money Meta has, that they can settle for $17 billion. That was the settlement, right? They thought giving $17 billion was less of a risk than going to trial. That's fucking insane, dude. It does not, people don't get how insanely rich these companies are and why we need to tax the absolute fuck out of them into single-digit tax brackets. That's what we need to do. $17 billion for a settlement? On top of that, the productive pauses for children include mandatory pauses after 15 minutes of continuous use, and again at 60 and 90 minutes to interrupt endless scrolling. Nighttime blocks restricting children's access from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Limited school time access for children, limiting push notifications on weekdays from 8 to 3 during the school year. Robust age assurance measures to more effectively verify the age of young users. I don't know how they're going to do that, but very interesting. Safer age-appropriate content controls, including stronger safeguards against bullying, content promoting eating disorders, and content related to suicide and self-harm, stronger, more user-friendly parental controls, limits on social comparison features, including beauty filters and visible like counts that have been linked to poor mental health outcomes in kids and teens. Both the implementation and effectiveness of the features will be regularly assessed by an independent auditor and the settling states. Here's the other thing that's fucking insane. A lot of this stuff was proposed internally and was proposed by advocates to Meta. A lot of this kind of stuff was offered as a solution to help improve the kids' lives. But these fucking leeches at Meta were seeing the money that they were making, and they said, no, we would rather see dead children than get in the way of our profits. And that is why we need to jail all the billionaires. Because it's not just Zuckerberg that thinks this way. It's every billionaire. Every billionaire would rather, they're fucking dementors. I swear to God. They are the most least pleasurable porn stars because they will just suck you dry until you are dead. That is what billionaires do. They will just absolutely drain the balls of the American worker economy, and you won't feel good. It won't even be a good draining. It'll be a bloodletting. They would rather do that to children. No less. That's what these fucking pedophiles did, like Mark Zuckerberg. Never forget, by the way, that Mark Zuckerberg is a pedophile in the Epstein files. Never forget that. Moving on. They would rather harm children. They would rather murder children than implement some pretty basic shit. in their policy because that would have gotten in the way of their profits. Mark Zuckerberg, we do not give this man enough shit for how evil he is. And why is it that the older he gets, the more he looks like a vampire that's been left under a UV light after walking on the sun? What the fuck is this? This is not a human. Truly, this is not you cannot convince me this is not a fucking AI robot. You take off that face, the Terminator skull is underneath. There is no way that this is a human being, right? He bleeds like the white shit from Alien and the androids, right? Where Bishop is like, he's got that milk jizz on his forehead. That is what Mark Zuckerberg bleeds. This is not a real human. This is an evil, evil person, and he belongs in jail. He murdered these children. Children died because of his policies. They knew. They knew, and they did it anyways. This is a good start, and it's not nearly enough. Next should be criminal trials, starting with this ugly piece of shit. My MAGA brothers back Israel and dump. Yeah, I mean, all we can do is just out-organize them. That's the best thing we can do, Brina. Jesus Freak W7P, Jesus Christ is Lord. Okay, so you're living up to your name. By the way, how do you feel knowing that Jesus was Jewish? I bet you have some really normal opinions on that. My rent went way up from $965 to $1238. Jesus, eat the rich. We cannot eat them soon enough. T Lennon 56, welcome. Again, this is shit. Mark Zuckerberg is hugely unpopular. This is shit we could be talking about. But, you know, Hasan Piker. Ben Rhodes says it also very well here. This is not subtle. Correct. Correct. The Democratic establishment would rather fuck over their own voters than jail people like Mark Zuckerberg. Again, too many demotivated Democrats stayed home in 2016 and 2024. We can't repeat past mistakes. In this upcoming election, we need to quit calling Bernie Sanders an anti-Semite. Stop wasting time attacking Hasan Piker instead of Trump's robber baron corruption. Don't put Israel hawks out of touch. Don't put, I think it's poorly phrased, don't put out of touch Israel hawks with our voters in charge of our Middle East policy. It is time for a reckoning. Are we a party that represents corporate interests and super PACs, or will we represent the American people? This is pretty fucking correct. It's fucking absolutely correct. And I tell you, Democrats are the only people that could enter a single-person race and come in last. That is the Democratic Party. Again, we could talk about this, too. This is a long one. So days before Trump launched the Iran war, Trump summoned them, then ODNI Tulsi Gabbard to the Oval Office. He asked if the U.S. should go to war. The ICSS killing Khamenei would usher in hardliners, regime would close the strait, and Iran would attack in the Middle East, which is exactly what happened. I don't like Tulsi Gabbard, but this is exactly what fucking happened. Anybody could have predicted it. We could be talking about this. Trump ignored his own advisors and started a war to distract from him being a pedophile in the Epstein files. We could be talking about this, but, you know, Hasan Piker. How do you feel about Hakeem Jeffries? He's a piece of shit, and we need to, if there was any justice, he would be lined up at Nuremberg with the ICE Nazis. Mark Cuban is bitching about Medicare for all. Wonder if it is about cost-plus drugs that he owns. Yeah, because now that he's got a product on the market, so now he's trying to corner the market so he can jack up the prices. And then before you know it, there's no difference between his prescription deal and then other prescriptions that are already out there, you know, other corporations. Mark Cuban is not doing this in the interest of his good heart. He does not have a heart. He is a billionaire. He is literally a sociopath. By definition, billionaires are sociopath criminals. That's how they got their wealth. You can't get that kind of money. Again, you cannot get this kind of fuck you money, $17.1 billion, just thrown out there to settle a lawsuit because you murdered kids. You can't get that kind of money without being a psychopath. Mark Cuban is no different, and I'm really tired of people trying to say that he's one of the good ones. He is not. So, while we're talking about AIPAC, Rep. Louis Frankel, chair of Elect Democratic Women, a super PAC that serves as a vehicle for AIPAC money, told Massachusetts 6th candidate Jamie Belsito to accept large amounts of AIPAC, crypto, and AI money. This is insane. This is insane that a Democratic super PAC is telling someone to accept money from like truly the three evils of the trident of death that evil Poseidon wields, right? That's what AIPAC, crypto, and AI is. because it was important for a woman to hold the seat, according to Belcito. Belcito refused and elect Democratic women, instead endorsed State Rep Tram Nguyen, and has spent $450,000 the past week to back her. The secret use of these ostensibly pro-women's rights PACs to funnel AIPAC money into races is a relatively new phenomenon. This is what we're going to start seeing more of, though, is that AIPAC can't necessarily do, we've already been seeing it, AIPAC can't get involved directly. So what they do is they funnel it through other shell organizations, right? They funnel it through other nonprofits, through other super PACs, like this one here, which is what we've been seeing for a while now. But this specifically using an entirely different super PAC with a different, priority and legislative agenda than Israel. They're now bringing them into the fold and doing shit like this.
Representing folks who can't put food on the table, who are worried about their utility bills skyrocketing out of control, who can't find a place to live.
At the beginning of this segment, I mentioned this super PAC, both pro-choice majority action and EDW Action Fund.
EDW, yeah.
Yeah, did they mention any of those super PACs in relation to AIPAC or AI when you were in Washington?
The specificities are on the PACs themselves. No, I mean, even as just as a citizen, when I hear pro-choice majority action, it doesn't correlate to me that that's an AIPAC shell, right? Or the United Democracy Project. But you're seeing that these shell I don't know what we want to call them, to be very frank with you, are funding mailers and putting people up on TV right now. And the focus in the energy of that conversation was take all the money because the end goal is to get a woman in this position. And that did not sit well with me because again, I spoke earlier, why the Democratic Party has been influenced by special interests and people are not being represented. And I told them that I would not take the money, and then they've gone ahead to endorse the representative from Andover, Tram Nguyen.
So they said, take all the money, take the AIPAC money, because the important thing is that a woman win this race.
I still can never get over that Ryan Grimm looks like this. I did not think this is what, that haircut is pukeable. Holy shit.
Now,
I like Ryan
Representative
Grimm,
Lois
for the
Frankel
record,
is the one who
he has really poor taste in his self-image, in my opinion.
Shares this CDW PAC, and has been reported to have been moving AIPAC money around. Did you meet with her? Is that and
that's whom I met with? Yes,
it was Frankel.
Yes, and Ryan, I'll be transparent in saying I was unaware of her position within the organization. EDW to me sounded nice. Oh, elect Democratic women, right? Of course, that's who I'm going to meet with. I'm a formally, elected Democratic woman. So it did not indicatively say to me that there was anything that I should be concerned with. But when it was conveyed to me that it was time to lean in and take all the money. But, again, the last time I checked, I am a woman, but I guess not taking the AIPAC money disqualifies me as a candidate.
Elect certain kinds of Democratic women.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, the disclaimer was not as transparent, but that's where it is right now. Yeah.
Could you just...
And this is how we get the takeover of the Democratic Party by corporate establishments, because people like this are shunned. And this is why they've chosen Hasan Piker, because he is a perfect proxy, right? He is more to the left. He is more people-powered. He is more worker-focused. He is actually, like you're saying, Brian, I think you said, what'd you say? You said you're having trouble. Your rent went up. You can't afford bills for your food and car. Yeah, exactly. That is what Hasan Piker is focused on. Meanwhile, the establishment, the Chuck Schumers, the Hakeem Jeffrieses, right? The Hillary Clintons, the Joe Bidens, they're all focused on the status quo, right? They would rather support the institutions, even though the institutions are failing us insanely, right? When Joe Biden was in office, he couldn't cut the contracts with Elon. That is a perfect encapsulation of the establishment. Completely weak, feckless, and pathetic, willing to support institutions no matter how much rot there is. If Joe Biden were to have black mold in his fucking wall, he would tear that fucking wall down in a heartbeat. But that's his wall. That's his home. That impacts him personally. Same thing, same mindset with Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, right? And Hasan Piker is the exact opposite. You could tell him that you have mold in your home, and he would say, well, we got to fix that. We got to fix that shit. We got to make sure that not only we fix it there, we got to make sure that shit doesn't happen again. However, the Bidens, the Jefferieses, the Schumers, they would see that and they'd be like, okay, well, I guess we could send someone, let's have an investigation on that. The investigation takes a long ass time, and then by the time the investigation is completed, you've got a whole bunch of diseases, you've had to move out, your landlord has evicted you because you're not paying your rent, even though there's mold in the fucking thing. That's the establishment viewpoint. Whereas where we are now, the tenants unions are amazing. They'll do a strike, right? They'll do sit-ins. They'll annoy the piss out of the landlords. That is what we need. We need pro-activism, and you just don't see that from the establishment, which is, again, why they have chosen Hasan Piker as their proxy to attack, because he would actually change things for the better. And that is why this woman here, being against taking money from APAC, crypto, and AI is so dangerous to them, because that means they can't continue the grift, the bribes towards the Democratic establishment, and therefore they can no longer maintain the status quo. I'm a genius. Anyway. The whole damn billionaire class is in the Epstein files, correct. There are no ethical billionaires, agreed. I can't wait for the blackouts to come because of Trump and his tariffs for Canada. Well, remember, when the blackouts come, we need to focus on who we are angry at. We can't get angry at each other. We can't get angry at our neighbors. We need to get angry at the people in power, which are the Republicans and the Democratic establishment enabling them. Yeah, I can't afford my bills, food, and car, and I'm pissed off about it. Yeah, I know. Crystal is overall good. She's had a couple of really shitty takes, but I do like her. I know they think we're just all stupid, can't see what's going on, and see that they're trying to make it all about Muslims. That's what they try to do with Mamdani, right? Remember the Cuomo gate, where they were just saying, yeah, I may have raped women, but that guy's a Muslim. Vote for me, right? The whole Cuomo bullshit. That's what the establishment Democrats are trying to do against Abdullah Sayed. And because their money train is going because we won't vote for them. I really like Zoran Mamdani. Yeah, me too. I mean, Zoran's not perfect. Again, politicians are never perfect. We kind of have to get what we can, but the fact that they're doing the things that they are doing has been very positive, especially Mamdani. Again, this is something else we could be talking about, but Hasan Piker. U.S. debt surpassed 100% of GDP this year and is on track to reach 188% over the next 30 years. According to new analysis by @BB Kogan and @Econ Jared, they find the debt would instead be trending down toward 48% were it not for the Bush and Trump tax cuts. Wait, they find the debt would instead be trending down toward 48 were it not for the... Oh, okay, yeah. So the tax... Here we go. Here we go, Brina. The tax cuts literally made GDP and made the debt go up because of the Bush-Trump tax cuts. In-fucking-sane, dude. In-fucking-sane. And then the Democrats don't have the political will to get rid of those tax cuts or to override them. Just write a new bill. Raise taxes on the billionaires, cut them for us. This is not complicated. God, the Democrats are just so fucking bad at politics. This is how you know that Democrats could never actually rig an election, because they can barely win one. It's insane. I live in subsidized housing. They don't give a crap about our mold here. Again, that's the problem with the institutions, right? Because your elected officials like Gretchen Whitmer, who did some amazing stuff before she got Zionist brain, but that's the institutions, right? Same thing. They'll say, okay, report it to the housing authority. They'll do an investigation. Yeah, the investigation is going to take, like for me, when I sued my landlord, the guy had a decade worth of severe violations under a city code, right? Blocking fire exits, no fire alarms, filth, rodents, roaches, like insane amounts of violations. And they were all, it's like, I don't know, code red or whatever their term was. It was the most severe violations possible that he had. No fire exits, things like that. And that was for decades. And the motherfucker barely got any fines. And then when I brought my complaint to the city authorities, they took weeks to even show up. And then when they show up, they give him a warning like, here, go fix it. Bad boy, go fix it. Lo and behold, he doesn't fix it, and I say he hasn't fixed it, so they come back again, and they give him another warning. No, motherfucker! Take his ass to jail! Give him a fucking fine. They wouldn't do that if we parked wrong, we'd get an immediate ticket. Why the fuck does this freak-ass slumlord always get a pass? He's had so many passes, he should be in jail. Do not pass go, right to jail. That's the institutionist. That's institutionists like Gretchen Whitmer and like Biden, and it doesn't work anymore. You either have to be more proactive and radical with your solutions, or you need to fucking get those institutions, shoot them up with roids, right? Give them unlimited fucking power to jail these slumlords. That's where it goes next. Listen, it's not that they're not good at politics. It's they work for corporations and billionaires. I mean, I agree with you on the second part. I disagree with you on the first part. I really don't. I have not seen any, since Obama, I have not seen any Democrat good at politics, personally. Trump is going so good. Mamdani is going terrible. And that leering center, Lamau. Oh, what do we think about MAGA pedophiles like Xenon Xerox pushing Trump propaganda? Oh, Xenon Xerox, you're a MAGA pedophile. Here he is saying, don't be the pedotifa member. That reminds me that
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. They can shred.
Xenon Xerox 1712, you are a MAGA pedophile. Please don't go anywhere. We have a special prize awaiting for you. As soon as you open the door, you will be taken down and go right to jail. You are a MAGA pedophile. Oh, we have another MAGA pedophile. We have Peter-N5K31. Eat this shit, bitch.
Fuck ICE, kick down the cage. Fuck MAGA heads, stuck in their rage. Fuck Trump, clown on a stage. We burning the system, setting the blaze. Fuck ICE, they tearing the lives apart. Fuck MAGA hate with their cold dead hearts. Fuck Trump lies from the
Peter-N5K3I. Trump is a pedophile. And you are his pedo bitch. He dog walks you, motherfucker. He dog walks you and he's the only one gets to rape the children while you have to watch him videotape, you pedo fuck. Oh, we have another MAGA pedophile. One nation under God, 1, 2, 3. Donald Trump is a pedophile, and so are you. A pedophile. Pedophile alert. One nation under God, 1, 2, 3 is a pedophile. We got him. We got his ass. We got him. We got him, boys. Let's roll out. Get the guns. Get the vests. We're going to raid this pedophile. Let's go. We're going to bust down his fucking door. We're going to free them kids from that basement of One Nation Under God 1, 2, 3. Because he's a pedophile and we're going to stop him. Ain't we, boys? We free the kids. One Nation Under God 1, 2, 3. You rape them. And we're going to make sure that you get the same treatment once you're in jail with your cellmate, Bubba. You have a Trumper in here? Yeah, I know. I got the ass. I got them. Actually, that gives me an idea for a new... I got a new trolling thing I can do here. Hold on. Let's see. Hang on. Will this work? Let me see. I hope it's not a compilation.
This is Mission Control.
Fucking ads!
Your command.
What's funny is this pedophile, One Nation Under God 1, 2, 3 says Gavin is the devil. And it's like, yeah, dude, we could agree on that. We could actually agree. I don't like this one. I need, like... Let me see. I think this one actually works. XSIDISS, as a gay African with pink hair, I love the Democrats. Well, at least you're not a MAGA pedophile. I mean, gay African with pink hair kind of rules. And yet, Donald Trump is a pedophile in the Epstein files. So I think you're actually better off than any Republican pedophile. Except the simple fact is that you're a pedophile. I caught you, bitch. I caught you. We got him. We got another pedophile in the chat, Brenda. We got a pedophile. XSIDISS is a pedophile. Get him, boys. Get him. We got to find his ass. Get this pedophile. Oh, did you see what MAGA started with Dean Withers? Oh, yeah, that's where they created, like, they stole someone's identity to say he raped them or some shit. And yet Donald Trump, hey, XXIDISS, remember how Donald Trump had to pay $5.2 million to E. Jean Carroll? Because he's a rapist, you dumb fucking pedophile! Got your ass. Okay, anyways. So the inflation is so bad that even Fox Fake News has to cover it.
And we can kind of talk about this, and I want to get your thoughts on what we're seeing here. And the market actually pulled back about 40 points or so, 50 points on this one. All right, so July PCE, we came in a little bit hotter than expected month to month, a gain of 0.2% month to month. The expectation was 0.1, 3.7%.
Why do they have the stock market,
this
not
is
the
July
actual inflation
PCE.
price? That's hot.
That is a hot number, yeah. The expectation was 3.6. Core came in line at 0.2% up, and then core year over year
They're just showing the
came
stocks.
in line with expectations, 3.3. But we have seen a reversal in futures because of this
really
data.
high for inflation.
GDP for the second quarter is still 1.5%. This is, of course, the second reading of that number. And then durable goods, actually month to month, that came in for July, up 1.1%. The expectation was 0.5%. That's actually
now they put it here.
Ex-transports coming in
right
0.4%. Core cap 0.2%. Adam, your take on what the market is doing right now, because it is definitely reacting to this data.
Yeah, it's reacting. I mean, Dow futures were up, call it 129. Now they're only up 29. But, you know, these are momentary reactions that you see, I think, largely driven by the algos. Just as we are going through the numbers right now, that's happening.
We just lost 100 points on the Dow.
Yeah, which is a whoop-de-doo. I mean, 100 points on the Dow.
God, they're such fucking idiots. I can't listen to them. But I mean, it's really bad when even Fox Fake News has to start covering inflation. You know it's bad. And again, we could be talking about this. We could be covering this, and yet we can't because, you know, Hasan Piker exists. Screw Trump and I. Screw Trump agreed. 41 days left. God, is it 41? Fuck, we're so fucked. We're so fucked. We're so fucked. And again, this is something else we could be talking about. An incredible story. The Iranian Christian woman who wrote "help" on the glass on the hotel in Panama has finally found permanent safety in Canada. The Trump pedophile regime deported her to Panama soon after taking office rather than let her seek asylum. Read her story. Again, she's a Christian. She's a fucking Christian. This is supposed to be the exact people that the Republican pedo party was waging this war over. And yet, this woman got deported to Panama, a country she's never even been to. She doesn't know shit about Panama. She's from Iran. 41 days left to gas for the billionaires. Well, we know what's going to happen to the billionaires, don't we? No one's illegal on stolen land, correct. Republican candidate Mike Rogers has appointed anti-Semitic extremist Cameron Dundas to his campaign. Dundas has called for Jews to be sent to North Korea and women to be kicked out of politics. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Dundas has called for Jews to be sent to North Korea, and yet Jewish organizations in Michigan are trying to get this guy elected, who supports Jews being deported to fucking North Korea. What more could you need as proof of this insane anti-Semitism? Like, these Michigan organizations are fucking insane. They're fucking insane. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. If the Jewish organizations really see that and back it, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! We got a pedophile in the chat. Who is it? Hold on, let me read the chat. NXZAIN. Oh, it's a pedophile. Get your guns, everybody. Get your guns. Get your handcuffs. We got to get this pedophile. Let's get this pedophile. NX Zane. Get his ass. Okay, we got him. We got the pedophile. Everybody calm down. We got the pedophile. At INXZAIN. We got him. We got him, guys. We're going to tuck him in the cell next to Bubba. Bubba's going to be eating good tonight. He's going to be eating all that ass. I'm on Social Security, and they decreased the increase for next year. Yeah, that tracks. Mr. Global and Aaron covered about the oil. Mr. Global, are you talking about Pitbull? Are you talking about Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide? Are we gonna? Is that going to be the twist that the writers are writing for us this season? Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull is going to save us. He's going to get us a new supply of oil. So that's going to happen. Mr. Global and Aaron are covered about the oil. What do you? Yeah, I don't follow, Brino. What does that mean? In a new court filing, the Trump administration is explicitly raising the possibility that the Kennedy Center building could be demolished and replaced with an outdoor amphitheater. Again, this is something we could also be covering. We could also be talking about this, but again, like I said, Hasan fucking Piker. Oh, another MAGA pedophile. Who is it? Guys, where's the MAGA pedophile? Conqueror, KHANQUERORR is a pedophile. Everybody, get your guns. Point them at this pedophile. Is everybody ready? Okay, get ready. We got to point them at this pedophile. Okay, good. You got all your guns pointed at the pedophile? Good. Okay, we got him. This pedophile conqueror is never going to attack another child again. We got him, everybody. We got him. He is locked up in his cell. He will not escape. He may have another pedophile that he can contact through the phone that he smuggled up his ass, but that's okay. We're ready. We got our guns. We got our cuffs. We are ready to take down these pedophiles. If the Department of Justice is going to cover for the MAGA pedo cabal, then we can cover and get these pedophiles in my chat. Get these pedophiles to jail. We're going to get every single fucking one of them. This is a pedophile-free zone. The pedophiles go straight to Rikers. We make sure they have the worst fucking cell possible. And we make sure that they have Bubba giving them extra pressure every night up their ass. This is also something we could talk about. Guess what? These billionaire pedophiles are pretty unpopular.
I think AI will probably, most likely, sort of lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, there will be great companies created with serious machine learning.
Christ.
How real is the prospect of killer robots annihilating humanity?
20% likely. Maybe 10%.
On what time frame?
5 to 10 years.
A small old Orthodox Christian,
Aaron Parnas.
classical
Okay,
liberal,
gotcha.
with just one seemingly minor deviation. I am worried about the Antichrist.
We are close to creating a genie that can grant it.
These people have all the money in the fucking world, and they're worried about the Antichrist. Motherfuckers literally can afford boats to never have to worry about anything ever again, and they're talking about the Antichrist. Oh, by the way, we have another pedophile. Yummy sauce. Here you go, pedophile.
Trump is on the Epstein list.
You're a pedophile, Yummy sauce. Y-U-M-M-A-Y sauce. You are a pedophile.
Yes, he is.
I guess we're at that time of night where all the pedophiles have come out of their little roach motels and they've come into my chat. Brina, as I always say, I would rather have the MAGA pedophiles coming in my chat than coming on children. What time am I at? 7:35? How much more do I got left?
Anguish.
We're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm sure you're enjoying this as much as I am. Let's not talk to analysts about the burden of being right. Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world. And when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them.
The Christian framing, that in some ways is the same question, is
enemies and on occasion kill them.
See, here's the thing. If this pedophile is saying this, we need to make sure that we're ready to do the same. I keep telling liberals, you've got to arm up. I get death threats in my chat. I mean, most of them are pedophile little bitches in their mama's basement anyways, or they're just, again, typing from a cell phone they have hidden up their ass while they're already in jail. But, this is what they think of us. If they're going to kill them, kill us, we need to be ready to defend ourselves. We have a Second Amendment right, and when these billionaire pedophiles, use up all the gas and they want to start hoarding the supplies, we have a right to defend ourselves. We need to start getting ready for that.
the Christian framing, which in some ways is the same question, is Antichrist or Armageddon. You have the one world state of the Antichrist,
oh my God.
or we're sleepwalking.
Can't believe Dolly Parton and Tim Curry are gone. I know. Why did we have to get robbed of Dolly Parton and Tim Curry, and yet these people still exist? It's fucking insane. Another pedophile! Pedophile! Fishdorf is a pedophile! Fishdorff. You are a pedophile! Can't stand Muskrat? Yeah, I know. God, he's such a creep.
Towards Armageddon.
Do you think people are actually going to see the truth and change?
They can't handle
to change? Yeah.
He thought that was such a moment, too. Look at his fucking face. He's like so happy with himself. He's so happy. He's like, yeah, I just showed him how I just out-alphaed him, man. I'm looks maxing so hard on this fucking beta. Look at this fucking loser's face. Oh, my God. No amount of fucking gender-affirming care can save this man. Even with his hair implants, he ugly. He could get liposuction. He could get literal implants to show that he has biceps, and he still looks fucking ugly. It's insane. By the way, screw everything woke. You're a pedophile! my favorite part about these MAGA pedo bots, like Screw Everything Woke, is that they keep coming in here typing their anti-American pro-pedo shit. And once I mute them, all their shit gets deleted. Like, no one who rewatches this video sees it. And let's be honest, no one's watching this video now. So, like, they're doing nothing. They're doing nothing but giving me really fun clips to post on my Twitch. That's all they're doing.
You thought Sydney Sweeney's boobs were great. Where'd you see mine?
Looking good. Yeah. Solid peak up there.
Put a little share, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, he's
whole
so
thing
great.
online where people like laud the Nazis. Like, I spent a lot of time talking to Nazis. Like,
I'm
real
sorry?
Nazis. And, like,
Did you see her face?
like real Nazis.
She's like, oh, I should not be here. You know the sound that's going off in her head right now? You want to hear the sound that's going off in her head right now? That's what she's hearing.
And, like, understanding what made them tick.
People talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model, but it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes.
I don't know.
You're
would,
hesitating.
I would.
Yeah, speaking of the sweaty effect.
I am.
What she asked?
Muslim?
Oh, anti-Muslim.
I am. I'm against having if people are coming to a country with antithetical views. I am against that. I'm against rape and murder.
Except you're a pedophile that's in the Epstein files.
What should I do? Should I not do anything?
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit in
Should the
this.
human race survive?
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, is that we need to make sure, oops, sorry about that. We need to make sure that these MAGA pedophiles, like this guy here, for example, we need to make sure that we're ready, because they are going to try and hoard all the supplies. They're going to try to steal everything, and we have to ensure that we stop them. They're going to try and destroy society. They're going to try and destroy this country, and the only possible way that we can fight back is, I'll tell you what thing, it's not going to be fucking unarmed. That's the simple fact. We're going to have to be armed, and we're going to have to be ready for these pedophiles, like the ones that are in my chat, like this billionaire pedophile, like Sam Altman, like Peter Thiel. All of these people, we have to be ready to absolutely destroy them, because the simple fact is they are coming for us. They've said it themselves. Sam Altman said it right there. He works with Nazis, and he wants to kill us. That's what he said in his own fucking words. You saw it. And then same thing with Peter Thiel just now. Should humanity survive? He says he can't answer that. These people want us dead. And I don't know about you, but I would rather fucking make sure that if someone wants to kill me, I'm going to do everything that I can to kill them first. Seems like a pretty simple equation.
Yes.
Okay.
But
what
makes America special right now is our lethal capacities vis-a-vis Iran. You look at American performance,
and they're
which has
so
been
dumb.
Thanks to the bravery of Americans
Again, all you have
and ingenuity,
to do
and I would like to believe our tech.
listen to these
very few
people
losses
and
on our
watch them
side,
talk,
very precise,
and you
very
realize that they're not
controlled.
smart. And if you were to actually have a discussion with them in their, field of expertise or whatever, they wouldn't be able to answer. Many engineers have tried to talk to Elon Musk. Elon Musk bought Twitter, and he thought he knew everything, and then all he did was just break the fucking website. I can't use Twitter in the same way that I did before to actually be able to find news and reliable sources. Now I have to go to specific news aggregator accounts so I can find tweets like this. They just break shit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They are the dumbest fucking people on the planet. I keep telling my fiance this, and he's not listening. He's making me mad. I said we need a gun. What are his objections to getting a gun? I'm kind of curious. I know my mom. I'll bet you his objections are the same as my mom's, but I'm kind of curious. And again, Trump is underwater in Wisconsin, 19 points. He's leading the race. Crowley is leading the race. He's cratering in a state that he won. 60% say his policies boost inflation. 70% say war is not worth the cost. Took a lot of pointless tariffs and endless foreign military interventions to get here, but he did it. We could be talking about this. All of this shit. The Democrats could be making this an issue. It could be making it a liability. You look at the Republicans, and I've said this in my last stream, but they are so good at, they described Obama as failed, they described Biden as failed. No matter how much bullshit it was, they just say it. And if Democrats were to actually say the truth, people would see it. They could say Trump's failed policies have only made your life worse and more expensive. You could say that, and people, even if people don't agree with it, even the MAGA pedo party, you just say it to them enough, and because it's the truth, because it's the facts, at some point it's got to break through. There's only so many times they can go to the gas stations, go to the grocery stores, pay their utility bill, and see the prices going up, and see that Trump is in charge, and not eventually make some kind of connection. Even in a cult, it's going to break through. But the Democrats have absolutely no unified talking points because, again, they're too busy yapping about Hasan Piker. That's why they hide in bunkers, that too. But Brina, tell me, why is your fiance against guns? I'm really curious. CPRA, so this is something happening here locally. CPRA records of email communication show LAPD Captain Johnny Smith told Police Commissioner Rasha Shields that officers routinely failing to activate body cameras, and that command staff hid the problem from the police commission. Shields failed/refused to act. 3 years later, the problem with cops not activating body cams continues. This is what happens when the police commission president cares more about protecting the LAPD than the public. This is also why people like Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Jared Moskowitz, all of these pro-ICE idiots are completely useless because they don't want to abolish ICE. They want to reform ICE, right? You know, that's what you do is you reform ICE. That's going to solve everything. How do you do it? With body cameras. And you know what ICE can do with body cameras? Turn them the fuck off. Just like they're doing here. These people have no solutions for us. They have no policies because they are bought and paid for by the same fucking special interests, by the same corporations that fund, or excuse me, not fund, but support the LAPD by giving them their equipment, which they also give to ICE. They give them the same training, the training grounds, the gun lobby. All of these people donate to Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, Jared Moskowitz, all these pro-ICE people. And this is their policy? We're going to make the way we stop ICE from terrorizing our citizens and murdering people on the street is by giving them body cameras. ICE takes the body cameras. Okay, I'm going to shoot you now. Click. That's how fucking easy it is. No one should join the military. It's just a billionaire war. He doesn't know how bad it is. Well, I'm really glad to see that so many of these soldiers are. I think I actually have that tweet, Brina. I'll bring that up in a minute. Mom! Hello, Mom. You missed the mega pedophiles were flooding my chat. That was a lot of fun. I did my favorite song.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
Always a good time. What do we say in our chat? I would rather have MAGA pedophiles coming in my chat than coming on children. That's right, everybody. That is our saying. What do we say? Let's say it again. I would rather have MAGA pedophiles coming in my chat than coming on children. Oh, stop. Oh, stop. I need a soundboard. This is also data centers hugely unpopular now, but we could be making that an issue. The water the data centers use for electricity generation in just the top 7 states with the most data centers is the equivalent of 12 times the annual water use of all of Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Washington, D.C. combined. Combined! The think tank Ceres has a new report detailing how data centers use much more water for electricity generation than they do in the facilities themselves. Bloomberg just reported on the study saying that data centers in the 7 states with the highest concentrations of them use about 3.4 trillion gallons of fresh water for electric power generation every year. But few electric power producers have connected this increasing power demand to water supply risks. We could be talking about this, but, you know, we're too busy yapping about Hasan Piker. U.S. annualized real GDP growth. Look at this. It's gone down look at where we were. 2.9%, 2.8%. The moment Trump gets in office, it goes down to 2.1. 2.1, now we're down to 1.5. That's the GDP. We could be talking about this, but oh, I'm sorry, Hasan Piker is the source of all our problems. Like, Trump is such a liability, even the Republicans get it. Republican House candidate Ralph Alvarado is pivoting his message, editing his website to remove Trump mentions and delete a photo of them together. From America First fighter to independent leadership. Trump won Kentucky by 15 points. Even he's running from him. Trump is more toxic right now to Republicans than Obama was in 2010. Trump is disappearing from Republican websites like Trotsky from a Stalin photo. I was going to say he's disappearing like the family in the Back to the Future photo, but, same difference. You saw them? Oh, you've been on a while. Oh, okay, Mom. I didn't know you've been on a while. He is not against them. He just doesn't understand how bad it is. You're talking about your fiance. Got it. Oh, I'm glad you guys can connect. Yeah, you guys are both Michiganders. Trump is underwater on every issue. We could be talking about this. He's underwater on prices/inflation, healthcare, foreign policy, government funding and social programs, jobs in the economy, trade with other countries, education, elections and democracy, border security. This is the first time in his entire time in that pedophile's life where he has ever been underwater in border security, crime and public safety, deportations, immigration. These were his bread and butter. He's underwater. Again, he is underwater, and the Democrats are too fucking busy talking about Hasan Piker defending Jews.
Those who do not work are kept in power by the...
This is insane. What are we doing? And then, of course, we have people like Hakeem Jeffries does damage control while Trump just does more damage addition. Some new reporting on Jeffries' Kushner meeting. A House Democrat told me that some Democrats are taking the meeting as a signal that Dems will go easy on all the Trump corruption again, a la Merrick Garland. This is exactly what I've been afraid of. I've been right again. Call me the Alex Jones of the left, except I don't have CSAM on my computer like he did. I've been right. They're just going to capitulate. They're going to raise the white flag. We cannot have this. I cannot stress it enough. There is no future for this country if we do not make MAGA scared again. We have to. You cannot have a Gestapo terrorist force like ICE kidnap children off the street, put them in concentration camps so that they can rape them and impregnate them. You cannot have that without consequences. You cannot have billionaires that talk openly and frequently about meeting with neo-Nazis and killing us. You cannot have billionaires feel that they are entitled to steal our water so that we die of dehydration. We need to make MAGA scared again. And Hakeem Jeffries is not the guy. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Is Voice of Reason still on? I know Mike lost his job. Yeah, Mike's having a tough time of it. I'm not really in touch with him, unfortunately. I know Jeremy's, well, look, it's not our place to talk about, but we're trying to keep in touch with him, but he's dealing with stuff. I really think people who haven't seen Hasan Piker need to check his channel out. He makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he makes more sense than this shit. That's why they don't have Hasan Piker on Dana Bash or on CNN or any of these outlets. That's why they don't have him on to talk about his actual positions, to actually speak for himself. Because if he were, he would win people over. There's a very good reason they only have people yapping about him without him being able to talk about himself. Now, this guy says it perfectly. So Jamie Harrison is out here with some bullshit, say whatever you need to say, however you need to say it, however long you need to say it, but I'm going to say this loud, slowly and stubbornly for the folks who still don't get it. When Democrats win the House majority in a few weeks, Jeffries, who has kept his caucus remarkably unified, no, he hasn't. He's had defectors at the most worst times possible where it comes to like Trump bills and especially funding for ICE. This is he's just wrong. He's a fucking shill. And has been historically successful at controlling the House floor from the minority. No, Jesus. You want to look at how much floor time was wasted under the Republican Tea Party movement or under Obama or under the Republicans under Biden? And it's not even comparable. He has been, every single aspect of Jeffries' leadership has been a total, complete failure. Will become the first black Speaker of the House. That's not speculation. I'm not, this is horseshit. I'm not going to read this because this guy says it better than I can. First black Speaker of the House sounds like you're putting a whole lot of weight behind that. And maybe years ago that would have been enough to move a lot of us. But people are struggling too damn hard for symbolism to be the selling point anymore. Representation matters. But representation does not pay the rent, lower grocery prices, cover medical bills, raise wages, or make life affordable. Y'all have allowed economic hardship to get so bad that people are past celebrating the first black or the first anything while they're drowning financially. We don't need another historic milestone used as a substitute for material change. We need Democrats to fix this shit so people can afford to live. This is so fucking perfect. Where's my clap? Hold on. Hold on. Like, this guy needs to take a fucking bow. Seriously. It's so perfectly said from so many different angles because they talk, like, let's just take, for example, the issue of representation, right? There's a saying, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, right? That's a saying because that's what they try to do with police departments, right? They said, oh, well, if there was more black people, more Hispanic people, then shootings will go down. That's not the issue because we've had more different representation from different communities, and yet shootings have only gone up because it's the culture that is the problem within those organizations because those cultures are inherently violent, racist, bigoted, anti-woman. That they're the most incel communities possible within these police departments. And same thing with ICE. Many of the ICE people doing the kidnappings are of Hispanic descent. They're arresting people that if it were not for those ICE folks with the badge and the mask, they would be in those same fucking concentration camps. That's what we're seeing. Representation doesn't mean shit if the actual the institution is corrupt. And that's what the issue is here. So he says it perfectly. The first black, the first whatever, doesn't fucking matter. Because you put representation in there and you still get the same status quo. That is why representation, it was a fair idea at the time, but that is why representation is still pushed. Because representation enables the status quo. It does not change anything. It does not radically transform the issue so that we can now afford groceries, as this guy says, for material change. So fucking spot on. I need to follow this guy. Yeah, there we go. Give him a follow. So Hillary Clinton.
I mean, you can go down the line. You will certainly see
pause this.
bipartisan support for a new reformed development agenda.
Reform. That'll solve it.
Development. When I became secretary, I said we had the 3 Ds of national security: defense, diplomacy, and development. And we're using the first one, defense, not very smartly, and we have abandoned diplomacy and development as very strong, important tools for American security. So I think there's a lot of bipartisan
support. By the way.
Support.
Sorry, I'll get caught up in chat in a second.
That even in the Republican cloakroom in the Senate, there's much enthusiasm for going
Okay, I got it. Where are we? 39 seconds in. Okay, so I want to pause it here. She's saying very valid things, very accurate things up to this point, right? She's talking about, they're fucking it up. They're using the military like that's not the way to handle this. You do want to have diplomacy and development, which has given us much better return on investment. For example, the JCPOA was preventing Iran and we were denuclearizing them. And then Trump came in and tore it up and then ate his homework because he's a fucking moron. So now she goes on and says the dumbest fucking possible thing in the year of our Cthulhu 2026. Listen. Or maybe not. Or maybe yes.
Enthusiasm for going to into a trade war with Canada.
Let me back up.
For going to
God damn it!
Republican cloakroom in the
God damn
Senate.
it!
Bipartisan support. I can't imagine that even in the Republican cloakroom in the Senate,
she's talking
there's
bipartisanship.
much enthusiasm for going to into a trade war with Canada. You look across our border with Canada. I was looking at the percentages of trade. 40% of Ohio's exports go to Canada. Something like 60% of Michigan's exports go to Canada. I can't imagine that
Again, this part is correct. Like, the tariffs are stupid, the trade war is stupid, but I want to focus in on the bipartisan bullshit she talks about. Hold on.
Republicans in those states, or literally anywhere in the country, are enthusiastic about this nonsense that Trump is promoting, and probably secretly cheering Mark Carney for standing up to him and doing what he's now doing on behalf of his country, but really on behalf of the international mentality toward Trump. So I think there's a lot of potential bipartisanship.
Oh, my God. This whole bipartisanship crap is so 2012. It's so stupid. The Republican Party is a pedo cabal of Nazis and terrorists. They hate America. They hate this country. They hate what we stand for. They hate anyone that is not white and fucking Christian. That is the Republican pedo party as of today. And she still wants bipartisanship. For what? Look at what they have created. The Republicans are in charge right now. Look at what they have done. They have created a completely unaccountable Gestapo force with ICE. They have destroyed our economy with trade wars. They have let literal pedophiles run the country and have no accountability and no release of the Epstein files, despite being ordered to under court order. And then they have started a war, a forever war in the Middle East, one of the hardest regions to have a war in historically, all to distract from the pedo cabal running the country. What about that is bipartisan? What about that would you possibly want to work with? Any of those things. Why would you want to work with those issues? Why would you want to work with the people that created those problems so blatantly and ignorantly and stupidly? Why would you possibly think that those are people you can work with in any way, shape, or form of good faith? Why? Second, this idea that there's a cloakroom where they're secretly, no, my light. Hang on, I gotta plug in the light. Ah! Almost fell over. Secondly, why would you... This idea that they're hiding in the cloakroom. Even if they were hiding in the cloakroom and there is this secret people, ashamed of this or whatever the crap it is, they're not doing anything. The fact that they're hiding in the cloakroom shows that they are cowards. They are too weak to care enough about this country to stand on business. I hate Thomas Massie. He is an evil, violent, bigoted person who has horrible policies that destroy this country. That said, give kudos, because he stood up against the pedo cabal and wanted to fight back. These other people hiding in the cloakroom, do you think if you have your I am Spartacus moment, they're going to stand up and support you? Of course they're fucking not. This idea is so stupid. This whole bipartisanship crap. I don't know, man. These traditional fucking... It's just stupid. It's just stupid. They've totally lost the plot. AIPAC Dems need to... Hakeem Jeffries is MAGA. Yeah, AIPAC Dems need to go. We need to make our party stronger and work for us, not for money. Well, it would start if we would start by kicking Hillary Clinton the fuck out. You look like my dad, but with hair. That's a shirt my dad will wear. Thanks, Hamzi. So glad to have you in the chat to always roast me. I know I want bodily autonomy back. Women deserve our rights back. You should treat people as individuals, not Hispanic or black or anything. Here we have the understanding someone actually represents himself and himself alone. Yeah, of course we should treat people like, well, one, we should treat people like they treat us, which is why I call all Republicans in my chat pedophiles. And two, we should treat people based on their actions. America has a lot of mental problems. Yeah. Mental trauma from our government. It can be both. No bipartisan with MAGA ever. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, why would you want to have any bipartisanship? They're not going to return it. Again, Democrats, whenever they're elected, are always expecting, when are you going to put a Republican in your cabinet? When are you going to put a Republican in your cabinet? But fucking Reagan, Bush Sr., Bush Jr., there was never any pressure for them to put a Democrat in their cabinet. I don't think they ever did. The only Democrat Trump has ever appointed has been a quack like RFK Jr., and then I think he put someone else in, Trump 1.0, that I can't think of. But they were all quacks. They were just fucking plants to get political accolades. It was always bullshit. Watch the movie Hillary's America Scary? No, I don't think I will. I didn't vote for Trump, and I certainly don't support racist groups like Antifa, Marcus Aurelius 1313. You're talking about racist groups like Antifa while Trump has people that deny the Holocaust and do Nazi salutes. You're just a fucking idiot. Don't forget, Mitch McConnell is probably dead, too, and they are hiding that crap. Oh, he's dead. And then, who's that guy in Kentucky? Andy Bashar. Completely fucking useless. Absolutely, again, institutionalists, right? Like he said, I'm going to write a sternly worded letter, and the Republicans better respond. I wrote a sternly worded letter, and the Democrats didn't respond. I guess they win. Oh, man, that is the Democrat mantra. This is very accurately said. Democratic voters are expected to knock on doors, donate, make phone calls, vote, and deliver a majority, and then have their views completely ignored. This is exactly what we're talking about with the Democrats appointing baby killer Jared Moskowitz to run pro-Israel agenda through the House of Representatives. Now, I unfortunately don't have time. I wanted to cover these two articles, but I don't have time, so we're going to jump to the MAGA pedophile roundup of the day! We have had a lot of MAGA pedophiles in the chat, so now it's time to see our success in rounding up these MAGA pedophiles that have been in my chat and get them where they belong, behind bars. Republican official Donald Self has pleaded guilty to indecent exposure at a restaurant in Lebanon. He is a pedophile! He'll now be spending 180 days in a local jail. Pro-Trump Kentucky landlord Danny Bell just got forced to sell his apartments after settling a DOJ lawsuit accusing him of demanding sex for rent. He is a rapist! For over a decade, Bell allegedly harassed female tenants in Somerset, offering reduced rent or free housing in exchange for sexual favors. I wonder where they could have learned this behavior from. Could it be from Trump, who did the exact same thing? Unwanted touching, entering homes without permission, and threatening eviction against anyone who refused. Multiple women described the pattern of coercion. Corning, California Trump supporter Cody Weimer, 59, has been arrested and booked into Tehama County Jail on child sex crime charges. So Marcus Aurelius 1333 is calling me a pedophile, and yet this is him. Marcus Aurelius, this is you, pedophile. We got your ass. You can't hide under the 10-gallon hat, you ugly fucking pedophile. Again, Marcus Aurelius 1313, you are a pedophile. And now is your turn to get the fuck out of my chat, pedophile. That's right. MAGA pedophiles like Marcus Aurelius 1313, they don't belong here. They don't belong in our country. They don't belong in our chat. We ban these pedophiles. We don't do bipartisan shit with MAGA pedophiles. We kick them the fuck out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They look like books I'll absolutely gudge from the cover. What? Didn't Republicans do a coup on Al Gore? Yeah, you're talking about the Florida riots. I can't remember what they were called. And, of course, Weimer's Facebook page is Hardcore MAGA. Again, like our pedophile in this chat, Marcus Aurelius 1313. Posts including repping Trump Pence 2020 cover photo, sharing NRA propaganda, I stand for medical freedom, stop the vaccine mandate, and flipping off liberals with a Trump bobblehead meme as recently as January 2024. Nicholas Powell, 34, of Andrews, Texas, diehard Trump supporter and neo-Confederate, has been arrested on child sexual abuse charges. Powell was arrested after the FBI's Midland office tipped the Andrews County Sheriff's Office to a possible sexual assault in the county. Detective identified Powell as a suspect and traced him to a residence about 18 miles southwest of Andrews. Powell is charged with a first-degree felony count of aggravated sexual assault of a child, plus a third-degree felony count of possession of child sexual abuse materials involving a child under 10. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's what this pedophile, Marcus Aurelius 1313. I think, actually, Marcus Aurelius probably goes for 13-year-old kids. That's why he has 1313, not in his chat, not in his name once, but twice. Before his arrest, Powell's Facebook was a case study in MAGA racism, a Trump 2020 flag flying next to a Confederate flag, reading we would have had it made. Trump 2020, hand-painted Confederate flag cornhole boards, and a joke post mocking fictional all-black Snow White remake, complete with dwarf names like Dealer, Stealer, and Mugger. He's currently held at the Andrews County Jail. Just in Wisconsin's Republican-controlled legislature has once again let Democratic bills to end legal child marriage die in committee. No hearing, no vote, no debate. Again, this is not a... E-Queer, welcome. This is why I say all Republicans are pedophiles. This is their legislature. Their legislature is Republican-controlled, and they are the ones enabling child rape in these marriages. Yeah, they're pedophiles. Abdul El-Sayed was going door to door. Yes, he was. And so was Hasan Piker, I think, for Abdul El-Sayed. They look like books I'll absolutely judge from the cover. Okay, gotcha, Hamzi. It's always Republicans. Every single time. Yeah, I didn't see. It's funny, Brina and E-Queer. E-Queer was here, I think, for it, actually. I covered a story of a MAGA pedophile who was arrested for installing cameras in women's bathrooms. And lo and behold, it was not a trans person. Meet Robert Shurcliffe, 61 of Antlers, Oklahoma, proud Confederate flag flyer and Trump supporter, now behind bars on a $1 million bond on child sexual abuse charges. Shurcliffe faces multiple felony counts, including rape of a child, sodomy, and lewd acts with a child. Jesus fucking Christ. Goes back to 2018. Here's the other thing. These things are not one-offs. But again, because Republican pedos always protect other MAGA pedos. Wow, I'll say that 10 times fast. This went since 2018. This almost went on for almost a decade, right? Almost a fucking decade this shit went on. And why are the people in his community why did they not turn him in? Why did the white people, the other Confederates of Antlers, Oklahoma, why do they radicalize so many pedophiles in those areas? Why is it that so many white Republican pedophile areas that are pro-Confederate radicalize so many pedophiles? Have they denounced it? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. White people in this community should immediately have to denounce Robert Shurcliffe. Immediately. Before his arrest, Shurcliffe's Facebook was a shrine to the lost cause in MAGA politics. He updated his profile picture to a Confederate battle flag, shared a post comparing judging Muslims versus gun owners while griping that Social Security recipients worked for their money, but welfare recipients supposedly didn't. What? And praised Trump as a strict parent America's spoiled, ignorant citizens supposedly needed. Not a drag queen, not trans, not Muslim, not an immigrant, MAGA! Every single time. Meet Timothy John Canfield, 37, a well-known mechanic in Jasper, Texas, and per his own Facebook, an enthusiastic Trump supporter. On Wednesday, executed a search warrant, and Canfield was charged with possession of stop calling it pornography, it's child sex abuse material depicting sexual assault of a child. First degree, well, maybe that's actually the name of the law now I think about it. First degree felony carrying up to life in prison if convicted. He's being held on $500,000. Before the arrest, Canfield's Facebook was peak MAGA. He shared a claim that anyone who worked for Trump gets called racist by the media. Actually, I just call them pedophiles because they're pedophiles. Cheered a meme joking Trump would ban Luke Bryan music and posted a bizarre fan art image of Trump standing triumphantly on a tank labeled Trump, gripping a rifle in front of an explosion. Again, always Republicans. All right, that is my stream for the day. I need to make sure I retweet all this shit. Retweet. I'm never going to call it X, by the way. It's always Twitter. Excuse me again. Okay. No, Al Gore won Florida, but because Bush's brother was governor down there, the votes all screwed up. Yeah, so did the Supreme Court. No, one of them is fit for office. Not one of them is fit for office or nice looking at, or at least doesn't look like he smokes weed for a living. One, sorry, James, tired. It's 11:08. Yeah, I'm calling it right now, Brina. They all look like what yak would look like if it wasn't a word. This guy. This guy looks like what yak would look like if it wasn't a word. All right, that is it for me. Thank you guys so much, as always. Thank you. Please make sure to like the stream. Stream? Stream. That's what I'm trying to say. It's been a long day. Please like the stream. I got to go because my brain is turning off in shutdown.